Over the last several years, the Danvers Historical Society has been implementing strategies to make the historic gardens of Glen Magna Farms more sustainable and resilient. A strong emphasis has been placed on drought-tolerant, low-maintenance, mostly native plants that are both beautiful and help our local wildlife. I am excited for the opportunity to restore an area of garden under a beautiful, mature white oak tree. I will need all the help that I can get for this project, so I will be leaving the garden walls to visit my friends at Wolf Hill Garden Center. The goal for this project is to plant a low-maintenance native shrub garden that is both beautiful and can help our declining bird population by providing food and habitat. I was lucky enough to run into a native plant expert, Nate, who is Wolf Hill's tree and shrub manager.
Some of my favorite native plants to plant around and ones that work really well in concert and in harmony with each other are plants like Clethra alnifolia, Itea, or summer sweet and sweet spire. Those two are really great. Among others, Fothergilla is another one, native grasses are another one, but they're particularly nice because they do well in a variety of conditions and provide a lot of both landscape impact, flowering impact, and food sources, especially for your butterflies. Clethra I find is a super versatile plant, full sun to full shade. It can tolerate periods of drought like a lot of our temperate northeastern natives, but it can thrive in literally standing water for periods of time. Same to a large degree with your Itea, although it's a little less versatile. It's pretty much the same deal. Lindera benzoin, our native spice bush, is a great early summer flower. Same with the way that it flowers in early summer, it's really an early spring flower, provides a source for a lot of really early season pollinators that come out. A lot of your sap feeding butterflies, other things like that only have very short windows in our native ecosystem to kind of do their job and carve out their ecological niche. And so things like spice bush on one end and then your witch hazel on the other are going to give you, those windows, and then just staggering natives in between. Like the Clethra, which is kind of a midsummer, the Itea, which is a little bit more of an earlier summer, your bayberry, which is kind of a mid to late summer. So by staggering native plants that do well in a number of conditions, you can provide all year sources of food as well as all your interest to your garden. All right, native plants are a wonderful way to bring wildlife and support them into your area as well as the environment. Some of the real benefits of native plants come in a couple different forms. You have like food for both birds, mammals, etc. You have habitat and structure. So whether that's providing spaces to nest, to move under, or for migratory native species to move through on the way, it's really important. Same with the food sources for migratory bird species in particular, it's really important. They oftentimes are cornerstones of your kind of erosion, wind, sun, shade control, and so all of natives working kind of together really can elevate your garden as well as your environment to kind of that next level of like planting shade natives underneath shade trees, native shade trees.
Wow, Nate was incredibly helpful and inspiring. I will be heading back to Glen Magna Farms with a truck full of beautiful native shrubs. Thank you, Wolf Hill Garden Center. Time to get to work. After we lay out our design, we can start digging. Itea, or Virginia sweetspire, is a June flowering shrub that tolerates full sun to shade. It prevents erosion, making it an ideal plant for a slope. Here we have our little blueberry patch, consisting of both low and high bush blueberry. In early spring, we are gifted with delicate white flowers, followed by delicious blueberries. And finally, a brilliant fall color display. What a giving plant. Here we have the spice bush, which lights up our New England forest in early spring with its delicate yellow blooms. Its foliage gives off a spicy aroma and is a host species for the beautiful swallowtail butterfly. If you want more butterflies in your garden, be sure to grow a spice bush. This next shrub could be my all-time favorite. The bayberry is a tough-as-nails plant that can tolerate drought, wet soil, and road salt. You can use this plant as a low-maintenance informal hedge along your driveway. Migrating and overwintering birds will enjoy the abundance of berries the bayberry produces. Clethra, or summer sweet, is a late-season bloomer that fills our entire garden with a sweet aroma. It's also really nice to have something blooming in late season when much of our garden begins to slow down. Lastly, we have the sweet fern. This naturalizing shrub will spread by rhizomes, making it a perfect shrub for planting on a slope or an embankment. Much like the bayberry, the sweet fern can tolerate poor soils. You can plant along a road or a driveway, in full sun or part shade. It's always special and really cool when the community can work together on a shared vision.